Hi everyone. Let me go ahead and share my screen. If you're here for Village UTC in Delaware. Ready? Is everyone able to see this?
Yes.
Cool. Alrighty. So my name is Brian Delatorre. I am the housing coordinator for the Village UTC in Delaware. These communities fall under the Arch Housing. So what is Arch? Arch is affiliated residential college housing. We're comprised of Village, UTC, Delaware, family student housing, and grad student housing. We have no need for college affiliation to live in our community or apply for our community. Village and UTC are open to new transfers and continuing students with connections to STARS and RSP. Delaware is intended for upper division continuing students, and our communities usually have no meal plan added since we do have kitchen access, whether it's the village at the community kitchen or the apartments having their own kitchen in each apartment. We also have additional options outside of the academic year contract. So we have a village year round and Delaware 10-month contract. So during these slides, what will be covered? Arch communities, the rates, room layouts, availability for each room, Arch meter rooming events, pre-assignment process, and the room selection process. As a reminder, info sessions are happening now until the 13th. The application period opens February 19th and ends on the 26th at 11:59 p.m. So try to submit it before then, just to save yourself from any glitches on the website or if your laptop dies. Because if you do miss that deadline, you will be placed on the wait list. And then the room selection happens on April 7th, with your times being emailed to you on April 2nd. So this is a useful tool. It's the interactive planning guide. You can use this to compare options and map out personalized housing plans. You can scan the QR code or type in the bit.ly. It will walk you through a process if you're applying with a roommate group, if you're applying by yourself, if you're going with campus roommates. So it's helpful to kind of see what your other options are. And you can go in and take it as many times as you want just to play it out. With that being said, let's get into Delaware. Please note that information is still coming out and these are still new and we appreciate your patience. But we'll try to get as much info to you during this session as we can. So Delaware is intended for upper division. Rising sophomores will not receive a selection time, but you can still apply with upper division roommates. Contract will start as a regular academic year. However, it will be covered through winter closure and extend to June 30th. This 10-month lease allows for upper division academic timelines by allowing housing over winter break, spring break, and you'll be able to stay through graduation. So these are the housing rates for Delaware. A monthly single would be $2,381. A monthly single with its private bathroom would be $2,515. A monthly double will be $2,094, and a monthly triple will be $1,678. With it being a 10-month contract, if you just multiply these numbers by 10, you get the monthly contract fee as seen below. So the Delaware configuration ranges from 2 people in an apartment up to 5 people. It includes 1, 2, or 3 bedroom apartments. So this means you can participate in a 2, 3, 4, or 5 person roommate group. So these are our different types of bedrooms. On the next slides coming up, they're going to have layout pictures. The layout pictures are not online yet, but they are soon to be posted. But we got an extra, we got them ahead of time for the session. So how many of each apartment do we have? So if you're looking for a 2-person apartment, we have 29 total. A 3-person would be 23 total. A 4-person would be 10 total. And a 5-person apartment, we have 34 apartments available. Please note that there's different layouts. So if you see like double is listed twice here, that means it has a different room layout, which we'll get into in the slides next. So this is showing you a 2-person room layout. We're missing one layout photo. I hope it comes up soon, but we're still working on kind of creating these photos. But this is what you can essentially get out of a double. And we have 20 of those available at Delaware. So we have the kitchen, living room, you have your washer and dryer, and then the living space itself. This out here, I believe it's a downstairs apartment, so it has a little patio that you can go out to. This is a 3-person layout, so you have your triple room, the living room and kitchen, similar to the double, and we have 23 of those available. This is a 4-person apartment, so you can see here that there's 2 different layouts, but it's still accommodating 4 people. So you have a triple and a single, and the single has its own access to its own bathroom, and we have 8 of those available. Then we have 2 doubles, and they each also have their own access to their own private bathroom in the room, and we have 2 of those available. This is a 5-person layout. We have a couple of these in different styles. So this is a triple and double. This one is 2 doubles and a single. This one is a 2 doubles and single, but it's a different placement of the single. And this is also a triple and double, but unlike the other one, they have their own private bathroom access in each room, and also a patio space. This is one of the last singles off 5-person apartment layouts offered, so it will be 2 doubles and that single again. And that single, it's just flipped from the other layout that we've seen, and we do have 3 of those. So some Delaware amenities, we have in-unit washers and dryers. There's also a dishwasher included in each apartment. There's modern layout and finishes. There's a proximity to campus and the Santa Cruz community, and it also has beach access. There is student parking access per apartment, and there's a bike-friendly design with a direct path to campus. So here's a photo of what the kitchen kind of looks like. You'll have stainless steel appliances, and you'll have your own washer and dryer in each room. There's also climate control. I don't know if you can see in that corner. So each room will get its own like heating device and air conditioning. So some Delaware reminders. It's intended for upper division, so rising sophomores will not receive a time, but you can still apply with other upper division folks. Please note, if you are allowing rising sophomores in your space, you are, say you're applying to a 5-person apartment, you could receive 5 selection times if you're applying with all upper division students. But if you're allowing one person that is a rising sophomore, you are bringing your total selection times by 1. So there is a 10-month contract with Delaware, so it covers winter closure and up to June 30th. There's some FAQs too, are if there's going to be increases in buses or transportation, and that depends on Santa Cruz Metro. As of now, we are trying to advocate, but it's up to them in the end if they want to increase any bus routes or extra buses to get down there. There is a walkthrough of Delaware being discussed, and you should know more about it through your email or on the Continuing Housing website. You'll be able to get a chance to visit on site and get a look around. However, right now it is still an active construction site, so be wary, and it won't be open to the public as of now. If you're interested in Meet Delaware and you want to meet a roommate or form a roommate group, we are having our Meet a Roomie event on February 17th at 5 p.m. at the Porter Hitchcock Lounge. This is at the Porter Dining Hall, just to the right of the mailrooms. We can go ahead and pause here for a second if you have any questions after these slides, if you want to ask questions. But going on to the village housing is located at the Lower Quarry. We are on campus. We serve a population of new transfer students and continuing. We do have a bunch of wildlife here and greenery. As you can see here, they're more bungalow style buildings. So we have a total of This is a 17 residential buildings. At the fix that we have 18, but it's really essentially 17 residential buildings, and each building has a combination of 4 singles and 5 small double rooms. There are also 3 private bathrooms in each building, so each bathroom is going to have its own shower and toilet for use, as well as a sink. The kitchenette are not intended for full cooking at the village. It just has a sink, a communal fridge, and a microwave, as well as some storage items for your pantry or cookware. As mentioned, a meal plan is not required since there is a community kitchen for you to do cooking, but if you want to purchase one, you can through a voluntary meal plan that is offered through the Get app. It's available to students of all college affiliations, and with this community, rising sophomores will receive earlier time slots. So during the room selection, you can participate individually or as a 2-person roommate group, as we only offer singles and small doubles. So there's 9 rooms per building, up to 14 residents. A small double is essentially a former single that has been converted into a double. So it has 1 shared closet, 2 small drawers, and 2 desks. The building kitchenette includes a communal fridge, sink, microwave, and extra storage. And the community kitchen has full-size appliances. So I believe there's about 3 full functioning stoves with an oven, a communal fridge, and 3 kind of farmer sinks there that you can use to clean your cookware and dishes. We also have a community center with a lounge that includes a laundry room, vending machines, and a TV space to watch, to hook up your laptop to and watch any movies. We do have B-cycles in front of the village too. It's in front of the community lounge to have easy access to and from the village, or if you want to take a bike ride around campus. In the photos, you can see essentially what a small double is. You'll have your bunk bed, your 2 desks, your drawer, and your shared closet. This is a single layout space, so it's essentially the same room, although there is 2 beds inside for the small double. So what are the rates for the village for a 26-27 year? For a monthly single would be 1,713. A small double would be 1,162. Quarterly would be 5,139. And quarterly for a small double would be 3,486. The village does partner with Resilient Scholars. This offers year-round housing at the village. The Resilient Scholar Program serves students who are current or former foster youth if you have experienced homelessness prior to 18, or if you're formerly incarcerated or have incarcerated family members, you might be eligible to live year-round at the village. Year-round contract, you are starting earlier than the regular academic contract. It's covered through the winter and the summer. If you're interested, there are RSP weekly drop-ins every Thursday with the director Liz if you want to stop by and meet with her to discuss the RSP program. So the village configurations, we have about 44 singles available and 65 doubles available. Please note that singles are in high demand in every community, and priority is first given to students with DRC needs and RAs and NAs. So some village reminders, there's lots of wildlife here, and there's also lots of greenery surrounding the village. We are a little remote from central campus, so it's usually very quiet, but to get to campus, you can use the trails around surrounding campus. You can use B-cycles, or also have 2 close bus stops, the one at East Remote and the one at the entrance of the village, to take you to campus. If you're placed in B through C quad, I'll say invest in a wagon or other forms of getting your stuff down there, since our laundry room and kitchen is an F quad. We also have no mailroom at the village. You'll receive your mail and packages at your college affiliation. Our Meet a Roommate event happened yesterday, but if you want to come down to the village and walk around and see the buildings and the wildlife, you can. And you can also stop by the village housing office for any questions. We can take a second here to pause as well before we get into the UTC community. So going into UTC, UTC is located in downtown Santa Cruz. We are surrounding a bunch of coffee shops, restaurants. It's in the heart of downtown, so it's above Five Guys, if anyone knows where that is. There is a new library that is being built there too. I don't know if anyone has driven by it, but it's currently under construction. There's still no kind of completion time yet for that. But this is, if you look behind it, that's where UTC is. We're going to have the new library in front of us. So it's going to have 150 affordable housing, and it's going to include the new library. So UTC is comprised of double and triple studio apartments. We do not have any singles available at UTC, but each room has their own kitchenette and bathroom. The kitchenette includes an induction stove, a small sink, a pantry, storage space, a microwave. There's also the bedding and desk and wardrobe. There's also a community lounge that has a TV, a fully oven and stove that you can use, and sink. There's also a large TV in there to watch movies and hang out with friends. The fifth floor lounge has a study room if you want a more quieter space to work on homework or assignments. There's also a printer up there for your use. This is also available to students who are rising sophomores, and you'll be receiving earlier selection times for this as well. We do have mailboxes on the fourth and fifth floor to receive your mail, and packages are received at the housing office. There's also nightly support from RCSPs, so they'll come down if you're locked out or have any emergencies, as well as RAs. So UTC housing, if you want to bring a car downtown, parking is offered by the city of Santa Cruz and not by TAPS, so you'll have to purchase another parking pass, which is currently $70 a month. This is subject to change. I don't know the current rates for next year yet. But if you want to bring your car on campus, you'll need to reach out to TAPS for that and purchase a separate parking pass for that. You can also just purchase a parking pass for campus and take the bus to campus if you like, whichever works for you. But even though we're off campus, all university housing policies still apply, so no smoking. We observe campus closure, so during the winter, we do close the UTC, and then we do observe quiet hours. So some UTC reminders: there's no college affiliation needed to participate in room selection. You need to form a group of 2 or 3 people to participate. Also, Wi-Fi is by Ethernet ports in each room. We do have public Wi-Fi at the lounge and community room that you can use, but the Wi-Fi can be spotty in each room, so it'll be easier if you have an Ethernet cable with a router. These are the housing rates for UTC. So a studio double monthly would be $1,903. A studio triple would be $1,470. Quarterly would be $5,709. And then for a studio triple would be $4,410. So our UTC configurations, we have 4th and 5th floor double and triple studio apartments. We have about 16 doubles available and 32 triples available. Note that we don't have any singles available as mentioned, so in order to participate, you need to form either a triple or double roommate group. If you're interested about UTC, we have our Meet a Roomie event February 17th at 7:30. It will be in our community room on the 4th floor. We're offering free Ike sandwiches, and there's also a $25 Visa gift card giveaway. If you have any issues getting to the 4th floor, or if you can't find the building, feel free to call the RA on call at 831-421-0695, or you can also email utc@ucsc.edu. I'm going to go ahead and pause here for any questions about UTC, Village, or Delaware. Alrighty. If there are no other questions, we can go ahead and move into the pre-assignment phase. So the pre-assignment is happening March 9th through the 31st. This is before room selection happens on April 7th. We'll work to place resident assistants, neighborhood assistants, as well as an apartment group for the household. So if you're an RA, you'll be able to select your roommate group. If you have applied to campus-wide themes, so ABC, International Living Center, Native American Indigenous themed housing, substance-free recovery, or trans-inclusive housing, you'll be pre-assigned. Or if you have a DRC recommend accommodation for a specific type of housing. Note that this must be renewed annually, so if you haven't yet, talk with your DRC coordinator to get that going, hopefully before pre-assignment happens. So before room selection, housing staff will assign students with disability accommodations for a specific type of housing. So if you have a disability-related need or housing need, you must submit an accommodation request to the Disability Resource Center in addition to applying for housing. So you need to get your accommodation and also apply for housing before the deadline to be eligible. Accommodations that qualify for pre-assignment include things like housing without steps or stairs, a specific room type, visual alarms. As mentioned in the earlier slides, accommodations for an ESA emotional support animal are not in this category. And during pre-assignment, only students with the accommodation for the room type can be assigned, which means if you're looking to form a roommate group, you won't be able to participate them as you will be pre-assigned. So if you're pre-assigned to themed housing or due to a disability accommodation, your roommate group cannot be assigned with you. You will need to decide before April if you would like to proceed with room selection with your group or opt in for the pre-assignment option. So some pre-assignment FAQs. How can I receive a DRC accommodation? You'll need to work with the DRC or email drc.ucsc.edu and provide the necessary paperwork to get this approved. Preferably it should be done before pre-assignment begins. And accommodation for a specific type of housing would be housing without steps or stairs, additional space for mobility devices, and ADA accessible furniture and visual alarms. If you're planning to have an ESA registered animal, this also needs to be done through DRC, but this is not an accommodation that is a part of pre-assignment selection. Note that DRC accommodation will try to place you in your preferred community. However, other communities might have a space that best fits your needs than the one that you selected. If I have a DRC accommodation, will my roommate group be assigned with me during pre-assignment? No, only you, the student, that has the accommodation will be assigned. So getting into room selection, who is eligible to participate? To be eligible for room selection, you must meet both of the following conditions. Continuously live in university housing during winter 2026 and spring 2026 quarters. Reapply for fall 2026 housing during the February 19th through 26th housing application period. If you're currently studying abroad or have approved leave of absence before their approved leave or study abroad program, are also eligible to apply if they apply on time. So if you want to form a roommate group, on your housing portal, you'll have a roommate request icon. It's a little blue circle with two people inside. Sorry. And all group members must apply to the same college or community, and all group members must be eligible for room selection. Each person must select the include me in roommate search results in their housing application. This doesn't need to be done during the application period, but it needs to be done before your room selection time. So all your roommates will need to include me roommate search results so you can find them by email. If you're applying for communities like Crown and Merrill or Cal Stevenson or 910, those are not the same thing. So your roommate group would need to all apply either for Crown or all apply for either Merrill. You can't apply to Crown and Merrill and assume it to be the same thing. It'll have to be one specific community. So creating a roommate group, you'll click the roommate request icon, select the option to create a group, and search them by UCSC email. By joining a group, you're authorizing the group leader to potentially select housing for you and accepting their decision as final. So as mentioned in the earlier slides, how our room selection starts to determine. Start times are based on your current class level and the community you apply to. So students who apply to their affiliated college, the UTC or the village. As a reminder, current first years or rising sophomores will receive earlier start times, and then continuing students will receive start times after the first year students. These are randomly generated and cannot be changed. Room selections are first come and first serve based on your start time. Availability is based on the time that a student logs in, with fewer options as other students complete their selections. Unfortunately, space availability is not certain at the time that you log in. So you can only select spaces that fit the exact size of your group. So if you're applying for a 3-person, 5-person, 6-person, you only have spaces for you and 5 housemates. If you're applying by yourself, you only see options for single residential hall rooms, since these are the only ones that are isolated. If you're trying to get an apartment single, you'll have to do it with a roommate group. So at the time when you log in on April 7th for room selection, you'll see you'll be able to select and view housing. So you can see show room info. You can place a hold on your room, and this is the icon that will show. So after showing room info, you can place a hold on a room that you would like to select. Spaces are held for 5 minutes while the student completes their selection, and a timer shows the remaining time at the top front of the page. So to complete your selection, a student or a group must completely fill all available spaces, all spaces in a residential hall room, or all rooms in an apartment. You will assign yourself to one of the spaces and assign group members to all remaining available spaces. So you'll see your roommate group's names and you'll be able to select a bed. After placing everyone in their respective rooms, you'll go ahead and hit confirm and assign. And after you do this, please note that your application is now a binding contract for the academic year. So if you do cancel, you'll be canceling with a $350 fine unless you're graduating or studying abroad for that quarter. So some important reminders: designate the person in your group with the earlier start times as your group leader. Start times are emailed on April 2nd. Plan together, discuss what room type each person is willing to accept and who will share what room with who. Have backup plans. Housing options for larger groups may fill up quickly. Have a plan to separate into smaller groups or participate as individuals if your preferred options are not available. Forming a roommate group does not guarantee there will be space available for your group size and gender makeup. A quick note: if you don't see any rooms at the time that you log in, that means all spaces that you were looking for to accommodate your group have been taken and you'll be moving on to the wait list. So, something else to know: if you're doing affiliated colleges, so if all our affiliates or all our upper division, there'll be more selection times to choose from. But if you're bringing in outside affiliate or you're applying with a sophomore for Delaware, you'll be losing how many selection times. So if you apply 2 affiliates, non-affiliates, you'll be losing 2 selection times. If you apply with 2 rising sophomores, you'll be losing 2 selection times to choose from. So some FAQs: what are my chances of getting housing during room selection? This is not something we can predict. We don't know how many people will be applying. We don't know what types of housing they're looking for, but we can show you how to maximize your chances. So apply during the application period, form a roommate group with other eligible students, and have backup plans, and also try to get everyone with the same affiliation or everyone upper division for Delaware. So these are the Meet a Roomie events across campus. Some of them have happened already. So Oaks and Rachel Carson happened yesterday, as well as the Village. But feel free to go visit the other ones. Today, there's one at Crown and Merrill and Porter Kresge. This has a chance you can meet other roommates, potentially for off campus, potentially for other communities. It'll be a good networking chance for you to meet other students. So getting into gender and how gender affects room assignments, a student's gender designation in the My UCSC portal, plays a role in determining their room and roommate assignment. In most cases, students are assigned roommates of the same gender. So we try to put everyone who is all female identified or all male identified through their portal together. However, if you would like to form a mixed gender group, let's say you want to form a roommate group with your friends who are all mixed gendered, you can, but you'll need to hold your space, make sure to hold your space first, and then contact your housing coordinator for assistance so they can place you. If you want to skip that hassle, you can change your gender designation before your room selection time, so at least 24 hours before, just so you can all go ahead and click and go in and make your room selection, and then you can change your preferences after. So after room selection happens, we'll be moving on to the wait list. So after room selection, any student who has not been assigned housing will be prompted to re-verify their application to add it onto the housing wait list. This will happen throughout summer, so check your email regularly and it'll have you re-verify your interest. This tells us that you're still wanting on-campus housing. If you do not re-verify, we won't be able to see your name and info, letting us know that you're still interested and you may not be placed. So your waitlist application represents your interest in being assigned housing, and the more options you include, the more opportunities it gives you housing staff to try and find you a space. You can update your room preferences in your housing application to include all the room types you agree to accept. An important note is only add the rooms that you're willing to accept, because if you put, for example, a hextuple or a quint as a preference and you actually get that placement, but you don't want it, we cannot take that back as something that you don't want. You'll be assigned to it and you'll need to cancel your application if you do not prefer a hextuple or a quint. So be honest of what you want to put on your application. We do have 70 different types, but if one's not for you, then one's not for you. As mentioned, you'll be required to periodically re-verify in order to keep your application active on the housing waitlist. You'll be notified via your UCSC email to return to your application. And until you have verified your interest, your application will not be considered for any available space. Some waitlist reminders: be patient. We cannot predict when or what type of spaces may become available. And if a space matching one of your room preferences become available, you'll be assigned to the space. You will not receive a notification prior to being assigned, but a confirmation email will be sent to you. Example, if you're willing to put in a hextuple, we most likely won't ask again if you're still willing to take this option. So the cancellation policy, it's important and your responsibility to cancel your application if you are no longer interested in housing. Cancel immediately if you find off-campus housing or accepted into exchange program or do not plan to attend UCSC. There is no fee for canceling a waitlist application if you haven't been placed in a space yet. However, there is a fee for canceling an assigned housing space. If you cancel on or before July 1st, be $150, July 2nd through August 1st, $250, August 2nd or after, $350. So some review info sessions are happening February 11th through 13th. Meet Roomie events are happening February 11th through 17th. The application period opens February 19th and ends the 26th at 11:59 p.m. Try to keep it, try to submit your application before then, just so it's safe and sound. If you don't meet that deadline, you'll be automatically moved to the waitlist regardless of your situation. Pre-assignment is happening March 9th through the 31st, so this applies to RAs, DRC, or themed communities, and room selection is happening April 7th. So some final FAQs, what are my chances of getting housing? We can't really tell you. We don't know how many students are applying and what types of housing they will request. We don't know if students will end up canceling their space. However, we can tell you how to increase your chances of getting housing. Apply on time, list as many room types as you're willing to accept, and check your UCSC email at least once a day and re-verify your interest if you remain on the wait list. We reached the end of the Arch info sessions. Please feel free to stay and ask some questions or jump around to the other communities to ask questions or gather information from your college affiliation or another one that you're looking to apply for. But reminders, the housing application period here, and we also have that QR code if you want to submit questions online.